So, this is Francis McCaffrey here from McCaffreyCrafts, and this is a weekly live stream that I try to do most weeks, unless I'm busy or away traveling. And I'm a fifth generation Irish stick maker based here in County Kerry in Ireland. And every Friday, I make myself available for you guys in the community and to answer any questions and to give you some of the upcoming sticks that I am working on as well. As always, like it takes a few minutes for a few you guys to join, but I do leave these streams up online so that you can watch them retrospectively. Because I know with time zones around the world, it's very difficult for everyone to tune in at the same time. But they're pretty good. Like 1 to 2,000 people seem to watch these streams every week. Retrospectively, so that's always good. That there are quite a lot of watches on here as well, and you can watch this live on YouTube or on Facebook as well. So Jason Fox from YouTube said, Francis, greetings from Seattle, Washington, USA. How are you, Jason? I do send a lot to Seattle, and I think Seattle has very similar weather to Ireland. It's pretty cloudy and wet here in Ireland at the moment, but sure, that's just a normal working day for us here in Ireland. But yeah, so how are things in Washington, Jason? And what's your profession, or what are you involved in yourself? It'd be good to get to know you guys as well. So yeah, the Christmas run is upon us. It has started. October was a very good month for sales. It seems there's still life in that American economy after all. Because usually a lot of my sales, of course, I do a lot of marketing in the US as well, and UK sales have been up as well this year. So yeah, like you see the news. There's all these doom and gloom and recessions and different things on. Seems like most guys who are at the age of buying a walking stick have their life in order, and they have no problem. Seems to be still purchasing walking sticks, so that's always good. It's good to have a product that is like a walking stick, something that is quite needed as well, and hopefully it'll get us through these next few years of whatever the world throws at us next. But yeah, I'm working away pretty hard. I had to go to Portugal for a few days last week, so I didn't do the live stream. Um, so the cutting season's nearly upon us. Like I was tempted to go out doing a bit of cutting, but like it's still too hot. It's still too warm. There's been no frost. Like I just know from experience, like if I go out cutting too early, those sticks that I cut early, it's just going to take an extra year to season because the sap will still be in them. So like if you go out cutting now and cutting blackthorn, but if you wait probably 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, like if you cut blackthorn now, you might have to season it for 3 years. But if you cut it in 2 weeks' time when there's some frost, then it might only take about 2 years to season. So it just depends on it. And look, usually I'd be doing a bit of cutting by now, but the weather has been pretty good this year, which is good for people, I suppose, but not good for cutting blackthorn because we need the cold weather and we need the sap to go down. And there's still plenty of leaves on the tree. It's still, I know a lot of guys I've seen going out doing cutting pictures and stuff. Like, I think it's still too soon. Anyone who does this professionally or knows about cutting blackthorn as well would not be going out cutting yet at this early stage as well. Usually a time of year, you would usually be able to cut at this time of year, but the weather has been particularly warm compared to previous years, and we still have no frost here in Ireland, so I would recommend against it. But I am ready to go, hopefully now within the next few weeks. So yeah, the Christmas run is going. Hi, Francis. I forgot it was Friday. Still trying to get my new place. Oh yeah, you have moved, Mary. I remember. And new place working properly. No hot water for a week. That's annoying. It happens in Ireland too, where the water goes off. But usually it'll go off for like a day or something like that. But I never got used to cold showers myself or cold water. I think that's one thing about me. I'm probably a bit soft for cold water. I hate that. I need warm water myself as well. But look, you can always make yourself a nice good cup of Barry's tea with some hot water. Paul Carter says greetings from North Carolina. Hey Peter, Paul. I mean, how are things in North Carolina? Is winter upon you guys there yet? And Sure, like in America, you get loads of holidays now. Sure, you have Thanksgiving coming up, and you have like Christmas, and you have all of these different things. You know, does anyone even work the month of December? Because like you have Thanksgiving, and then it just kind of like a few weeks later is Christmas. So like, you know, you have eat your Thanksgiving and relax, and then get your few days off, and then you still have your eye on Christmas as well. But I've been pretty late. The last few nights is pretty slow and ragged. It's kind of funny if you ever watch these videos of me around the Christmas run, especially November, December. It's like watching that movie Das Boot. I don't know if you remember that German submarine movie called Das Boot. And at the start of the movie, the guys are really kind of clean cut and really look good in different things as well. But like towards the end of the movie, like when they've been in the submarine for so long, they've all got beards. They're looking tired. They're looking ragged. They're looking like they've gone through hell, which they did in the movie. And that's exactly what the progression you'll see now with me. You'll see my face starting to get the beard, and you'll see me getting tireder and tireder each week and struggling. And everyone's like, I'll be coughing and spluttering. I'll be like weak, and usually that's how it goes each year with cutting blackthorn. The weather is cool now as well. That's just pretty good. If you are okay with kind of cool weather, cool is not too bad once no frost. And needs a hot water heater. I've been doing lots of Barry teas. It's a fifth wheel camper as well. Yeah, well, like with water heater as well, you have to get the pump and make sure. Oh, you know, it's hard to get a plumber in Ireland. I don't know what it's like there in Wyoming, but it's very difficult to get things as well. We have Paul Kerr says hi, Mary as well. Let's see, we have a dude here called Jake Ellison, and it's been a while. How are you? I've been good. I've been flat out. October was a pretty big month for sales, which was good. My marketing seems to be working. Each year, I kind of like know how to adjust it and where to target like the different marketing. So yeah, October was pretty good. Sold a lot of sticks, and yeah, like people are still buying walking sticks, which I'm happy with as well. Let's see, Michael Broderick. Hi, hope all is well. Good luck with the Christmas rush. Really enjoying my steak, perfect my length for 6 foot. Oh yeah, you called into the shop here, didn't you? You're connecting to Clorglen. I remember you as well. I'm really enjoying my steak, perfect length for my 6'8" frame. Thanks again for your workshop tour back in July. Yeah, I remember indeed. And you know, you're welcome back here anytime as well soon. Yeah, like many people don't know, but I do sticks for guys up to 6'8", up to 7 foot, different things as well. Like, you know, say if you get a 38 or 38.5 inch stick, that covers everyone up to 6'4", 6'5". Like, you know, to be honest, like any 37 or 38 inch stick would pretty much cover anyone up to 6'4". And like if you're about 6'5" or above, maybe 39 inch or something like that as well. 1 second, something's fell down there, or some big bang. I don't know. Something always goes into the background. We have John Elliott, big gel, isn't it, from the north? How are things with you? Let's see. Awesome. Glad to hear everything's well, bro. Yeah, it is good, but like gradually over the next few weeks, you're going to see me like disintegrate. It's like November is like such a tough month in this business, man. And like it's not tough as in for money, but money's good in November. But like physically and draining, like it's 7 days. It's from now until about December the 15th. It's seven days a week, and staying up as late as possible. And very long hours now are ahead of me. I'll be up and trying to manage the school runs and everything as well as trying to go out cutting. So usually in November, there's a lot of extra tasks. That's why I've been pretty busy trying to make as many sticks as I can in October and trying to preload the website for what's about to come in November. It's the first year I've had enough time to preload the website with plenty of stock. Mostly I've been chasing my tail each month with making sticks, but this year I've actually managed to preload the site, and that will allow me more time to go out to cutting, because last November I didn't do enough cutting, and then towards the end of the cutting season I was really kind of like worn out trying to do it. So now, like every October, if I can like preload the website with as many sticks as possible, then when I get into November I can focus on other tasks as well. Let's see now. And the book, yes, about the Kerry Faction Spiders. Yeah, I must show guys that way. I'll get that book. 1 second now as well. I have this book here. Yeah, I have loads of these books. Actually, I have to put these onto the website. So anyway, if any of you guys are interested in this book that Michael talked about, it's called The Days of the Blackthorn, The Faction Fighters of Kerry, written by Sean Morgan. And I interviewed him on my channel about a year or two ago, maybe about 2 years ago now as well. And this book has gone out of print. The publishers are not printing it anymore. And you know, I got the opportunity to get all the last remaining stock because the publishing company wasn't paying their warehousing fees anymore. And there was a 200 copies I got, but I think I've sold about 50 of them so far. So I think about 150 copies yet. So I am the only person that has the last stock and the last print run of this book. It won't be printed anymore. It's like out. Like literally, the publishers are not printing any more of these books as well. And I have the last 150 copies. Now, I spoke to the author, and I got him to sign all these books. So look, you can see his signatures inside there. And Sean, if you're watching as well, thanks very much for signing all of these as well. So I got the author to sign all of these books for me as well. And I'd have to send these by the post office. Like I can courier these as well. But like if you want these books, actually I must put them up on my website. Hopefully this weekend I'll get a chance because I do have a lot of these books. But this is like the best book there, especially about the Kerry faction fighters. And County Kerry, where I'm from in Ireland, was one of the main areas for the faction fighting. And you know, on chapter 8 is about Clorglen. Here you can see, where's the camera? So chapter 8 there, you see the one that says, where's the camera? I just move it this way. So chapter 8 is Big Mick Foley and the, it's that one there. Oh man, where's my camera? Where's the camera? Oh, it's up here. So that's the one there, Big Mick Foley, and he was the guy from Clorglen in County Kerry. But I must read some of these chapters and doing things as well. There's really good information in this book as well. I've kind of gone through it once, but I need to kind of like go through it there again as well. And let's see. Mr. Godfrey procured 2 sticks and handed Tig one. Then he asked his wife to come out and see him drub a West Kerry spillane. The fight that begun, attacking in military fashion, Tig gallantly warded off his blows, thrusts, and parries, till at length exhausted from the combat, he invited his opponent into the parlour and ordered a dinner, following by a couple of stiff bumpers of whiskey. Okay, and that's a reference in some newspaper clipping. But anyway, there's a lot of random stuff in here that's actually like quite good as well. And you know, I'll read a little description at the back so you guys can kind of know what it is, and I can hold it up here as well. So on the town and streets, in the green fields, at fairs, race meetings, and Saint Patron days, rival Irish gangs used to meet to battle and beat each other with cudgels and sticks. The practice was widely prevalent in the 1800s and involved tens, hundreds, and even thousands of men and women at any one time. Days of the Blackthorn uses eyewitness descriptions as well as oral history of local communities to provide a visceral sense of this exciting and brutal activity in County Kerry in Ireland. From the Battle of Ballyvea between the Cooleens and the Lawlers that left 18 dead, to the savage combats of various strongmen, such as Big Mick Foley, this is a fascinating account of a wild and violent time in Ireland history. So again, Big Mick Foley, my mom's a Foley from Clorglen, so I'd have some of that Foley blood in my system, so I'd be a descendant of the Foleys as well. So anyway, guys, if you're interested in that book, give me a DM. I'll try to throw it up on the website over the weekend. I've just been inundated with orders and packing and trying to get things. Oh, dealing with the couriers, man. They are the biggest mafia out there, man. The couriers, they're fleecing me, man, and the bills. Like, I get a price from the courier, I ship it, everyone's happy. And then a month later, the couriers have this thing called adjusted fees or something. And like, you know, they put all of these adjustments and different fees on as well. But I've been sending some things I have to send with the post office, depending on the size. If it's over like 100 100 centimeters, or about 38.5 inches now. I'll have to kind of send it by post over couriering it. Let's see. Good evening, Francis. Hey, Steve. How are things with you? How's the Kelly clan getting on there as well? Let's see now. Okay, and John Elliott, or Big Gel. Let's see. Haven't been on in a few weeks. How's your dad keeping? And my dad's fine. He's flat out. He's still helping me with the straightening the woods. My dad comes down, I think, about like 10 o'clock each day, and stays till about 12 for 2 hours. And usually I'm here in the morning, and he's downstairs. He like in the morning he does a lot of like the straightening and different things as well, because it kind of helps me to speed up the process. My dad's been pretty good now. He's been kind of like, volunteering, for basically nothing to help me with the sticks. And my dad is a good sport like that as well. Like, he's in his 70s, he's 74, and he's still useful for my business as well. But like in any businesses, you should always try to get your family members to help as much as possible. It's very important. So my dad's in good form. I think he got his bloods done at his doctor, and he seems to be okay and all that. I think he's in his 70s. You got to get like checked up the whole time. And he's on his diabetic pills, and he's all the metformin, I think it is. And so he's fine with all of his like bits and pieces. But when you're in your 70s, like, you've so many things wrong with you, but you kind of can still function and different things as well. Let's see. If Mary moved to UK, she would have to change her name to Mary Kilometer as well, instead of Mary Miles. So that's a joke on kilometers, but actually in the UK they use miles. It's actually kilometers is more in Europe, Paul. So in like Europe they use kilometers, but still in the UK they actually use miles as well. Let's see. That's it. Have you cut any this season? No, John, man, I haven't. I was planning to go cutting like tomorrow. Like, I have time, the weather's not bad. But like I went looking, what was it today? I went Wednesday. So what way is today? Friday. So on Wednesday, I had a look around, and I don't think it can cut yet, John. The blackthorn, like, it's still plenty of sap in it and stuff. Like, and here's the thing is, like, if I cut now, it's going to, add more time to the seasoning process. And like I've learned through experience as well. Just wait until that first frost. It makes such a big difference when, like, if you wait till the first frost to cut the blackthorn, you cut it, just seasons better. It seasons quicker. You've less problems with cracking as well. And every time, like, I've cut outside of season or something like that, there's like, there's 15% of them will have a problem on average, maybe a bit more. And they just take longer to season. So, like, after 2 years of working on the stick of the wood, and then you'd notice it still needs another year or something as well, which is annoying. So long answer there, but I haven't, and I'd recommend anyone just hold off until the first frost. It makes such a huge difference. Like, I'm doing this since 2007. Like, how many years is that? That's a lot of years. So like, I kind of know about this. It's what I do each year, but no one listens. I've seen there's guys already cutting and going out and doing blackthorn. And again, like, the dangers of it, like, guys haven't got a clue about how dangerous it is. Like, septicemia and blood poisoning, and your septic is a big problem with dealing with thorns and different things as well. If you get a fever after going cutting blackthorn, like, you literally have to get to the doctor fast and get on antibiotics as quick as possible. Like, there's loads of dangers as well, which are associated with the blackthorn. That's why every winter, when you've been cutting blackthorn since 2007, you don't look forward to it each year. It's a tough task. Like, I know, like, your first few years, you're going, oh, great, I love going out cutting blackthorn and stuff. But like, when you're carrying all the ghosts of all the injuries, like, when you do it to the level and scale which I do it, and it's professionally, it's a very different approach than a guy who's a hobbyist cutting a few sticks per year and maybe making 70 sticks or something like that per year. I sell 70 sticks in a weekend, not in a year. So like, I have to like really scale up. And I'm doing okay this year, but I could use an extra pair of hands, to tell the truth. Let's see. Jason Fox says, looking to commission you for a large root pole at blackthorn, big hands, looking for about 2-inch round. I have a screenshot of one you did a year ago for reference. And is your son going to be the 6th generation? He might be, actually. He's showing a bit of interest. He's 5th. He just turned 16. and like he's interested in the business side of things. And like he was kind of like, before he was kind of like, they see me in pain coming home, and I probably don't sell the job pretty well. Like I come home moaning from cutting blackthorn, I have dust in my eyes, I probably stink of wood the whole time and sawdust. So like, when my kids see me coming through the door after a day's work, like, and I'm sweating and I'm in pain and I'm complaining about my back and my shoulder and all of these different things, I'm probably not selling it too well. But like, I was going through the figures with him. I was showing him the business side. There was actually, was last weekend. Yeah, I think last Saturday night. I was sitting down and I was explaining like the business side of things and like the margins and like how I've made it into a business and how to do it. And he seems to be interested in that side of things. So maybe like, I can, you know, this is very difficult to make this into a professional job, because there's so much you have to do, and a lot of people really don't understand the scale and scope of it. Like everyone will have a go at it, and they'll find a little blackthorn patch, and they'll make you know 200-300 sticks over a space of 2 or 3 years, and do a bit of well, and then they kind of like get into it, and then the injuries start, and there's so many problems that start as well. The shipping and the couriers, and dealing with the sizes of stick as well. Like it's never ending with the couriers, and like don't forget that the couriers are about to do their seasonal charges again. Let's see. World War III has not reached Ireland yet as well. No, no. Ireland is a tiny little speck in the world. Like, was it about 3 or 4 million, or was it about 4 or 5 million now here in Ireland? We don't really have a voice too much on the global stage and different things as well. The world's always at war, and all I know is I need to feed my family, and keep them safe, and educate them as well. And that's my primary objective as well. If you read the news, like, of course, you have sympathy for across the board all people that suffer. If you didn't, you wouldn't be human as well. You'd be some kind of monster. But it is very difficult to kind of like focus on the news. Like my advice is always the same: is like, just live your life, and focus on yourself and your family and different things as well. Like, if you get really worked up about injustices all over the world and what you see in the news and everything, like you're not going to sleep well at night. You're going to go to bed and be thinking about a place that's thousands of miles away from you, and and on all of these different things. But the world's always been at war. There's always been turmoil. There's always been different things as well. That's why you try to find a piece of earth, a little corner of the world that you're happy with, you want to live, and you want to settle down, and you want to have a family with, and then you do all pretty well. And I see James says, I collect autographed Irish books. How do I get one to the USA? I just post it. I have to see how much. Like the problem with posting it to the US and stuff, sometimes the bloody cost of the book is around the same as the postage, which makes it a bit annoying to kind of post. But if you want it, like I can check on the post. I think the post would be like 20 euro or something like that, but the book is about 20 euro. So it's kind of like a weird one to kind of sell to distances and different things as well. But I have the last copy, and it is autographed by the author as well. Let's see. Sounds like a great book. Thanks. Hello, James, as well. Hi to Aaron and Frank. He does asks it. Too many leaves on you, 100%. You can't have it as well. We've had plenty of frost. There's no frost in the north yet. I checked the weather there because I have a cutting site up there too. We have a few frost and still plenty of green on the hedge as well, but no frost. There's been no frost in the US, or sorry, in the north yet, all around. As I said, I have some places up there too that I get some sticks from, as well as Kerry and 3 other counties. Let's see now. Do you have a cold December rain over there? Sometimes it can be pretty nice up until like until January. February is kind of the worst months as well. It can be a bit annoying. What's up, Francis? Use my monster shillelagh as part of my Halloween costume. Yeah, very good job, man. Got a lot of looks and a few comments. Now it's behind the front door for security purposes as well. Yeah, it's look, if you have something in your hand for security, it's always good. Like, of course, these are walking aids, and you use them for walking sticks. But if you are in danger, it's good to have something in your hands to create distance as well. And but I always say, look, with older fellas, that are looking for the self-defense side of things and different things as well. And because I'm getting more conscious of injuries, like be very careful of repetitive actions and different things as well. Like, you know, if you are like training and using the stick for other things as well, just be very careful of your body, your shoulder, your back. Like the reason you need a walking stick is because, you know, you're getting old. You need that support and different things as well. And sometimes, you know, I'd see like older guys and they do get a bit injured. And you know, we're all dealing, as we get older, man, we're all dealing with our aches and pains, and little things are going as well. It's like having one of these vintage cars that looks nice, but there's always a few things under the hood as well. How does the privet hedge in the US compare to blackthorn? It doesn't. Nothing compares to blackthorn. Blackthorn is a dense, like heavy wood as well. And it's you know, there's a reason why a lot of people want blackthorn. There's a reason why stick collectors see it as one of the prized woods as well. As a commodity, it's one of the rarer woods to get like the right type of length. Here's a hazel stick that I have. I have loads of nice hazels actually. I gotta get my act together, man. I've been all over the place focusing on so many different things. Let's see, 100% frost here, as had to defrost the car on Thursday. That's yesterday, and another heavy frost about a week ago as well. I don't know about that, John, but anyway, we'll see. There's no frosts hitting Ireland at the moment as well, and usually that's the kind of the first sign of it as well. If that was the case, John, the leaves would be already off the blackthorn, and what you said earlier kind of contradicts. So, like, the thing is, you know, if you're at a very, very high altitude or something like that, maybe, like if you're up in the mountains. But you know, I've been checking this religiously. Like, I'm almost autistic about the weather, man. And I've been looking at it for weeks as well, because I have several places over throughout Ireland that I go cutting in as well, and I usually have to time it correctly. Actually, last year was kind of like a bit late as well on it. I think I remember doing some videos on it as well. I remember someone was arguing me about they were going to cut and stuff. But look, if that was the case, and you had the frost and you've had the other frost and all of that, you would see it straight away in the leaves and stuff. Like, you know, they wouldn't still be all, you know, pretty fresh on. Like, if that goes, then, you know, you definitely would have the green light to go cut as well. Ballymena isn't in the mountains as well. It isn't Big Gel, but you know, like, it's one of these things as well. Like, you know, it's, you want a proper frost to hit as well. You know, the weather for Antrim. Let's see now, Antrim weather. I can go in and have a quick look at this here on the computer. Like, you know, the Antrim weather for the past few weeks, the lowest it went down to was 6 degrees. Let's see now. Maybe tonight, maybe, and the next, we might have a few 3 degrees day as well. Let's see now. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the weather up your direction for the next 2 weeks, it's about you know, it's going to be about 11, 12. Like, the lowest get to freezing is going to be tomorrow, Saturday night, where it goes down to about 3 degrees, and that's been the lowest from the whole month as well. The weather up in your place, it's I'm looking at the 2 week thing here, and I'm looking back at the weather for the past few weeks as well. It's been very heavy rain and storm. A lot of rain has been coming in as well. Like, we've had loads of rain, even with Storm Kieran, and a few things have brought this in the last few weeks as well. And when the rain comes, it's not, you hadn't had snow. The next, I'm checking the weather here right in Ballymena, and for the next 2 weeks, it's still hovering between 10 to 11 degrees, and the lowest is going to be tomorrow, 3 degrees, and then after that, it's going to be probably 6 or 7 degrees in the night. So still just that little bit. Like, if it gets down to close to zero and stuff, but the weather forecast isn't great. Let me check a few other places in Ireland. You know, let's try Fermanagh. Okay, I'm just checking a few weather things now as well. Like, Fermanagh would be a bit colder, because it's a bit further away from the coast and it's more inland as well. Fermanagh weather. Let's see if any place is hitting frost over the next few weeks as well. Only in kind of real higher grounds, maybe tomorrow night. there might be a little bit of touch, but again, I'm just looking at the long-term weather forecasts here. Still way out, my man. I disagree with you on that. Let's see. My shillelagh is over a century old and in new and still in new shape. I use it at times as well. Very good. It's good that you still use it, and family heirloom. What really kind of annoys me is when you see these guys go online with their family heirlooms, looking for how much it is, trying to sell it. I always recommend. I've had loads of arguments with guys. I've had three guys message me in the past 2 months, and they have their grandfather's like shillelagh or walking stick, and they're just calling me and they just want to know how much. Like they're always like the same. They want to know like how much money can I get if I sell this, and I'm always like I'd want to buy it. Like sometimes they hit me up to buy it because they've seen me restore some old sticks and different things like that. But I don't do it at all. Let's see. 206 FA says, really receive the shillelagh in Korea. Oh, yeah. I remember. Thanks for shillelagh. It's literally a piece of art. Yeah, that's very good. Glad to hear that as well. And, I lived in Korea for 3 or 4 years. And so I know the culture in Korea is pretty well. And, there's some very good arts and crafts as well. And many artists around Korea as well. James says, I'm in Texas and thinking about exploring mesquite, a thorny tree bush here for stick making. Pretty dense wood, I hear. Go for it. If there's some local wood and you want to have a go at it, just remember, like with all those really dense woods, you have to give them 2 to 3 years to season. And it's like no one waits. Like they're always trying in such a rush to do it as well. Again, actually, a lot of guys asking me for blanks at the moment, but I need them for myself. My sales are pretty high at the moment, and I'm counting my stock levels. I probably need to keep all my pieces themselves. So anyone who's looking for a blank piece of wood, it wouldn't be for myself. But yeah, like if things keep going at this level, like because I'm always been worried that there'll be a slowdown in the walking stick market, especially where it's saturated with hobbyists coming in and guys selling fake things and loads of different guys trying to do things, especially at winter, the Christmas time. That's when they all usually come out as well. But yeah, this cutting season thing is going to be delayed a bit this year, and it's kind of annoying because I've actually done everything I can to prepare for it in terms of like preloading my website. I've got like I think I have 400 or 500 sticks now on that, and like usually there's like a week in November where like I could probably sell a few hundred sticks in the space of a few days, and then I'm always struggling to try to keep the sticks going onto the website. And so yeah, if you're interested in if any of these sticks, I'm going to be uploading quite a lot of sticks over the next week. It's still busy, but each day it just gets kind of busier and busier in terms of it as well. So if you're interested in getting some Christmas gifts as well, I do swagger sticks, I do hiking sticks, I do the shillelaghs, the shorter ones as well. Plenty of sticks. I must give these hazel guys a big shout out and push. I have loads of them done, and I put them to the side, and I got this guy to just do the final polish on it as well. And I have plenty of these as well, and I have big size ones. I have them up to like 40 inches and different things as well. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the hazel, go to my website and look at the hazel category. I have the whole chestnut as well, which are pretty good. The chestnut ones I were doing it for guys up to like 7 foot, because I was getting a lot of guys 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" that were interested in sticks. So and then the blackthorn is too heavy and too dense for the really larger sticks, even though that's what everyone always wants. But my primarily, like I focus on walking aids and walking sticks, and I want people to be able to use these sticks as well. So like if you get a really heavy thick piece of blackthorn, it's as Joe Smiley was saying there earlier, it's good for Halloween costumes and display, but it's not really the best one to kind of go out with. So it is a bit difficult to kind of do that as well. But yeah, so like I'm trying to kind of put on my website enough of the ones with the L shapes, T shapes, and plenty of knob sticks as well. I'm putting loads of variety on as well. I'm using different finishes. I'm polishing some. I'm leaving some a bit rustic. I'm leaving some a bit Saturn. I'm making some a bit glossy as well. So on my website, I try to make things as diverse as possible as well. And I say if you're interested in Christmas gifts or anything at all, Getting someone a blackthorn shillelagh is a great Christmas gift idea as well. You know, the little small ones, the little 18, 20-inch shillelaghs, handy presents to give to anyone in your family. Any of the guy, like, usually it's hard to buy a present for a dad. Like, you know, most dads, they get like their socks or their aftershave or something like that. But a blackthorn shillelagh bought direct from Ireland is something special. Like, you know, you're owning a piece of Ireland. If you want to own a piece of Ireland, you know, a blackthorn shillelagh grew there as well. Let's see. Do you use micro mesh sandpaper up to 10,000 grits? Where do you stop as well? You start with as coarse as possible and you work your way down. It's always the same with sandpaper. Uh, so, you know, like with dense, heavier woods when they're seasoned as well, you do need quite strong, like rasp the bejesus out of it, and then after you've rasped it, go on a really coarse one, and then just kind of like you know, work your way down as well. But you don't really go to the 10,000 grit ones, man. Like that's you know, that's I don't, and you know, you could like even like you get your 60 grit, your 80 grit, your 120, you know, and you know, you can kind of go a bit more from that as well, but you don't go too like your 240 for your final kind of, you're doing your little final things on it. But like again, I'm not creating a piece of furniture. Like I like to leave like some kind of a texture on it as well. Sometimes like I polish them, but sometimes I like leave them with a few little rasp marks for grip as well, because I think it looks cool, and that's kind of what I like. Is hornbeam native to Ireland as well? I don't know if it's native. Let's see, is hornbeam? I'll check it now. Hornbeam native. Might be. I don't know. Let's see now. It's not one like the really trees found in Ireland. So this found in Ireland. But let's see if it's native. I can't see anything here. I'm just looking online to see if it's native to Ireland as well. Grows native Irish trees in the Tree Council. Here's what I have it. Let's see now. Native Irish tree. It's not. I've gone to the website, the Tree Council.ie as well, and I don't see it on the list of native. Yeah, there has a list. So the Tree Council.ie seems to be an authority on this as well, and they have a list of all the native species within Ireland, from the alder to the ash to the arbutus to the aspen, the birch, the blackthorn, the cherry, the wild cherry, crabapple, elder, hawthorn, whitethorn, hazel, holly, juniper, oak, rowan, Scots pine, spindle, whitebeam, willow, wych elm, yew, bramble, broom, buckthorn, which is kind of a form of alder. Let's see, they have dog rose, gorse, honeysuckle, and ivy. So there you have it. You can go back and listen to all of those as well. Kevin Gill, thanks for the advice leading up my purchase today. Get that thing shipped already as well. Yeah, I think I have it shipped. Wait, I packed it earlier. Let me just double check for you, Kevin. Yeah, I actually, or 1 second now. So you ordered today at 11:46 a.m. in the morning. After my lunch, I came in and I did up the label, attached the label, and I have it. Yeah, I have that packed and ready for collection. So the next courier collection is on Monday. So because today's Friday and the couriers, they don't collect on Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, your label is I've emailed you. Normally when I create the label, it's been shipped with UPS, and yeah, you should have that. So the courier will collect it on Monday. And where you at again? I think you're in Pennsylvania. Yeah. So I would say that you'd have it maybe Thursday or Friday, if all goes well without any weather disruptions. Let's see. I made a cudgel. Let's see. I made a cudgel from the branch of a dead tree. You got to be careful with some of those dead ones because there's rot in them and stuff. It had bug holes. Oh, yeah. So I put it in the freezer for a week. Goodbye, bugs. Yeah, you can burn them out. But sometimes, you know, sometimes some of those bug eggs can be quite resilient to a bit of frost and to different things as well. The best way, like, to be honest, like, if it's a really rotten piece and it's got loads of bug holes in it as well, I wouldn't touch working on those pieces of wood. It might look cool and it might do everything, but it's the integrity of those things is they're usually destroyed. The wood is quite rotten and soft as well. You can get, like, if there's like a little bit of rot on a tree or something like that, and you can get some things to put into the rot to make the wood kind of stronger and thicker, to make it stronger as well. I've done that, like, sometimes on handles, like where the purple or heartwood is. Sometimes if that's like left for a while, like when you're seasoning it, and get a bit softer, and then sometimes you have to like put in something to kind of like to harden up any of the wood that's just beginning to kind of rot and different things. And then you can kind of actually like sand that and make some really nice colors. Sometimes you get like a nice white kind of color when you kind of do working with just a little bit of rotten wood. But I'd kind of, for what you're saying, you just a dead tree and there's all bug holes and a piece of wood, there's plenty of wood out there. There's an abundance of wood. You just have to do it as well. Let's see. Did your kids carve turbans or pumpkins this Halloween? No, they were given out to me about that as well. They said that I wasn't really too prepared for Halloween, and then I had to do it very quickly because I was in Portugal last week. There's a few things I had to check out and had to look at as well. And Portugal is a pretty interesting place. There might be some interesting things to do with Portugal coming up as well. But yeah, I was there for 4 days, and then I had to come back just before Halloween. And the kids were like, "Where's the pumpkin? Where's the decorations? Where everything as well?" And I just had to distract them. But I watched the movie with the kids, Five Nights at Freddy's, and it wasn't that good, but they seemed to like it as well. It's based on a video game. Let's see. Can you grind out the rotten wood and use epoxy sculpture and other wood putty? You can, but like you can scrape it out and put in like wood putty or sawdust and glue or epoxy or all of these different things. But sometimes you can get this kind of compound that will soak into the rotten wood and harden it up as well. And sometimes that works out a bit better as well. It's like, you go to a hardware store and like say if you have like window frames that are made of wood and then the wood gets really soft and brittle, they have this like kind of compound that you can kind of put into rotten wood and it makes it like rock hard and really nice and hard as well. And something like that kind of works a bit better. And then like sometimes rotten wood on different types of wood, there's this like white color that comes into the wood, and it kind of looks all right as well. But yeah, it's like everything. You just kind of like try and mess around with different things, and you can kind of see what is kind of like what's good for you on that as well. And that's always going to be that's quite interesting. So do you have any more questions there, guys? I think I've covered most of the things I'm working on. So today is the 3rd of November. Tomorrow I was planning to go cutting, but I can't go cutting yet. I'm pretty annoyed about that, actually. That's annoying. Let's see now. So tomorrow I was going to go cutting, and I was like, I had it planned and everything, and I was going to drive 2 hours to this one place, and I have a really nice access to it. And it's a right little side road. Like you go down, there's a side road, there's a bend in the road. I can park my vehicle right there, and like where the blackthorn hedge that I was working on, it's like so easy to get to, and like there's all these like straight pieces that I've checked out. So usually I like to start the cutting season with cutting the easier pieces as well. But yeah, so I'm actually kind of annoyed with that, man. The weather is just it's a bit too good everywhere. And then like I have a place up in the north that I get sticks from as well. And I've been watching that as well and checking the weather. And I have someone up there as well who's like a contact for me. And we're thinking about we're ready to cut yet because there's a really nice kind of patch that we've identified up there. But I've had to around Kerry and around this area, I've pretty much taken all the main kind of nice hedges as well. They're probably the ones that I've kind of been cultivating. I can probably go back to 2 or 3 of my sites in Kerry, and I have a few nice ones out the Clarny direction as well. And I have a few. Actually, I have a list of all the places, and I have them all marked on Google Maps. Like when I'm driving around, like sometimes I'll drop a pin and I'll keep a record of like all these little places, and then I kind of rate the places and how easy it is to get the blackthorn, because like sometimes like it's very important that your vehicle is not too far away from the hedge, because if you're carrying like like blackthorn's awkward to move because there's so many thorns everywhere and different things, and it's a bit bendy, and you can only, and like it's heavy enough when you cut it, and the sap's in it as well. Like you can only carry like maybe 10 pieces at a time, and again, that's going to be pretty heavy. Like you could be looking at 15, 20 kg in weight, and you have to kind of bring this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth your vehicle over terrain that you got to go up and down, so it never kind of like does that as well. You looked good dressed up for Halloween. Yeah, my belly, I'd eaten a lot in Portugal the 4 days before, and my belly was sticking up a bit, and I was trying to close that overall, I remember, on the day as well. So I go back to my yo-yo diet as well. Intermittent fasting is pretty good, and I like going keto every now and again, even though you're not. There's different things with keto, but like I don't know, there's no real diet that works for me. The only thing I like doing is the intermittent fasting, or I do the OMAD, which is eat one meal a day, and I find that's okay. Like I eat at 12 o'clock. I eat at 12 o'clock, and I eat strawberries, blueberries. I have an omelet, and then I might have like a sausage or something like that. And usually I think that's fine. And then about 5 or 6 o'clock, depending on what I do as well, then I would just like eat a piece of meat and vegetables, and that's it. So it either one day it'd be pork, one day it'd be salmon, one day it'd be beef, with vegetables, and usually just broccoli and just something like that. And the only problem is I get such cravings for snacking in the evening as well. But I think like as you get older, you have to kind of like work on your weight and different things as well. And just by eliminating breakfast, like I kind of active enough throughout the day. Like I just like to kind of probably overeat. You see, when I'm in pain from from this job, sometimes I do like a bit of chocolate. So like my main weakness is chocolate and biscuits and things like that, and crap like potatoes and stuff. I need to, once I eliminate that, I do enough activity and stuff during the day. But you need to be physically fit to go out cutting as well. But yeah, I have to figure out now what to do with my cutting strategy, because like I don't want to be like every year. I don't want to be like in January out cutting. I hate like the month of January. I always like November, especially December, because like usually I'm busy with orders until about the 15th of December, trying to get them all out and courier them so that everyone gets their gifts before Christmas. And then like when most people are relaxing for Christmas and everything, I'm out cutting blackthorn. Christmas Day I do the family thing, but then I'm just using excuses to get out, and usually there's no people around over the whole Christmas period. It's a great time to go out cutting. There's no one around. The weather's not usually not too bad. Hasn't been the last few Christmases. And then from about say the 15th of December up until about like the 3rd of January, and the kids are off school, is brilliant as well, so I don't have to do school runs. I usually get a lot cut myself. And like sometimes, like if I can go in, and sometimes I can get about 100 sticks cut in one session, and then I get tired from that as well. So if I can get like about 20 of those sessions over between now and the end of February, it's pretty good as well. And I'm lucky that I can afford to employ people to cut for me as well and buy sticks. So I because I'm quite a large business as well, and I've been doing this for some time as well, I have the budget to be able to pay people to go out and do cutting as well for me. And I can never have enough of blackthorn. So again, like most years, man, I always aim to get about 2 or 3 thousand pieces, and I always end up like around, well, last year I was like, I think I only got like 600 or 700 pieces, about 800 on average as well. And then I had like 3 guys who would help me that were doing the cutting as well. So yeah, like it's never easy trying to figure out, because like it's humanly almost impossible for one person to cut the amount that you need each year. And and then you might have a few sites, and when you find a good blackthorn patch, you might get 2 or 3 good years out of it, and then it takes it kind of you need to find, you continually need to find good places to cut blackthorn. And luckily I know how to find it, and I know plenty of places to still get it. So I was actually calculating, I think I'm good for 5 more years on the on in terms of like my stock and the places that I can cut. I was a bit worried last year when my biggest place like got sold, and then I couldn't have access to it anymore. And I tried to get in and try to negotiate, and then I can't get in there anymore. So it's like a really good place that has a nice big chunk of blackthorn. But I then spent the whole year trying to find new places, and I got lucky and with these two girls, actually, these two this one lady, she approached me and she just said her mom, they know loads of it, and that looks like it's going to be quite a lucrative place for finding really good pieces of blackthorn that I can use in. And the most important thing as well is I love the borenes to kind of go up and to different things. But yeah, so I'm going to make a load of these little short videos when I'm out cutting as well, because like I was hoping to do that. But I have plenty of nice content coming up as well. I'd send those little t-shirt designs as well. They're doing okay. Jim, how are things? Hello, my friend. Hope everything is good with you as well. And I know you're a good. How's Simon getting on? The Keegan clan. Simon's been pretty busy, man. He's wheeling and dealing. I saw him on the TV thing promoting his book as well. There's lots of black cherry in Pennsylvania as well. Well, cherry is a relative to the blackthorn. It's part of the prunus family as well, and cherry is a lovely wood to work with. It gets sometimes is a bit like always cut the cherry longer than you want it, because it does seem to crack a bit when seasoning, and you want to season it a bit slower as well. Like, don't put it in a place that's too warm during the summer times, because it'll always things. But cherry's a beautiful wood. Cherry's one of those ones that you probably would take the bark off of, maybe, and because like the wood and the wood grain looks pretty good, and the handles are always very nice on the cherry as well. I've worked with cherry from time to time, and it is pretty nice. But yeah, there's I think like in America now I see they're all using was it Bradford pear and different things as well. See, Jake says, okay, gotta run, brother. Respect always from Michigan. No worries, my man, Jake. I hope all's all well in your world. I hope you're working well, bringing in the money, and having a good life, and doing things that you want to do, and follow your passions as well, and you know that right balance between doing what you want to do and enjoying life and different things as well. I see Jim said, I wish I had Simon's energy. He's always busy doing something. Yeah, look, it's one of those things. But Jim, you've, from what I've heard of you as well, like you've worked pretty hard for a number of years, and you've had quite good energy as well throughout that. I think Simon is about, was he 44 and I'm 45? Like that energy will slow up. That energy is a finite resource. It doesn't last forever. There's only so much coffee you can drink each day. I've started drinking coffee, man. Like I don't like the taste of coffee, but it helps, man. It's like, by drinking a few coffee, it gets it. I work a bit more each day. It's probably the most legal drug. You can't you can't do cocaine here, so coffee is the alternative. Uh, but yeah, like I haven't been talking to Simon for a few weeks. Like we were talking a lot there, and then he got busy. I got busy. My month of October, Jim, was fantastic. I had my best October of all time, and it's really weird because like I speak to a lot of other company directors as well who are involved in e-commerce and selling things online, and I pay a lot of attention because I'm it's like I watch the weather like crazy. I watch like the economy and economics. I listen to was Powell, the your man from the Fed in America, when he came out and he said, inflation's going to be around for longer, and I'm kind of like watching all of these things like a lot, and trying to be it. But it seems like people still have a bit of money, and guys who buy walking sticks, they've already worked their lives, they've already saved up their money. So like, paying 150 bucks for a stick is not, it's just like buying a pair of shoes, or buying a nice sweater or something like that. A lot of guys, who are at that stage of their life, and you would hope by the time you hit your life, most of my customers of course are like 50, 60, 70, and by at that age as a man, like, usually you do have, your savings and different things. And like in the States, you have your Roth IRA, you have all of these different things that you've kind of like, been saving, you have your pensions, and if you can do pretty well. But yeah, I must actually, there's a guy, Mark Winter. If you're watching, Mark, man, thanks for the birthday message. Yeah, from my son. He asked me what martial arts weapon my son liked, and my son's into like knives and guns, and especially knives at the moment. My son is really getting into knives, and he has like this knife that he probably shouldn't have. He has some really good knives that we managed to get from abroad, and get through the airport, which I was very surprised with because I didn't think they would come through the airport, some of the knives that we had in our packs. But anyway, that's another story and an adventure, allegedly. But yeah, and he did this like John Wick display with a knife, and he gave my son like advice as well and about mindset. But this guy Mark, he has a YouTube channel, or he doesn't. He's on Instagram a lot, and when I met him in the shop, man, he came in to see me. I think he's coming back to Ireland, but I must get him on. He's really funny. He's got great stories. I don't know if he could tell the stories on YouTube though. They're wild stories, man. And you know, he's dealing like he has like chronic pain, and he needs the help of like some walking aids and stuff. But his attitude is he's one of these guys, man. He's very interesting. Like in person, like the first time he met me, it was really weird because like I don't like people touching me, man. I don't want people grabbing me and stuff. And he gave me this big hug, and it was a really prolonged hug. And he kept hugging me and stuff, and he was saying all this positive stuff. And it was like that was my first thing, and I was like, oh, what's this guy about and stuff. And it was like a really kind of like a surreal kind of funny moment and stuff. And I found it kind of funny. But yeah, so he's a good guy. You know, he's involved in mindset and mindfulness and different things as well. And you know, there's something in that, having the right kind of mindset and applying yourself as well. And like as you're saying there, Simon, his energy and stuff. He's like he's very persistent, and you know, when he's right. And he the thing about Simon, Jim, as you well know, is that, you know, he was very close with his dad. He worships his dad, and you know, his dad had played a huge influence, and then his dad passed away. And like, you know, he feels this strong kind of like honor for having the Keegan name, and he wants to, you know, honor his dad and stuff. And I think that's very important, that sons and dads need to have good relationships. You know, like you gotta like give your dad some slack and different things as well, and you gotta like respect, like, no matter what, even if they say things you don't agree with and stuff, you kind of like always have to kind of respect your dad. And I think like you have to have like kind of like complete confidence that he has your best interest in mind. And I think the bond between like a father and son is really strong. And it's something that I'm trying to like instill into my sons as well. This kind of thing as well, that, you know, like I'm kind of like showing you guys as well that I keep my dad involved in what I'm doing. I tell him, I ask him for advice. You know, he's like MacGyver, man. He knows how to do everything and fix things and different things. And he grew up with a different generation. And like, I'm 45 now, and he is 70. Was he 74, 75? And every week I'm getting a bit of knowledge. I'm getting some information out of him, and he still has more to kind of like contribute as well. And I think, like, you know, a lot of you guys that kind of are part of this community, look, you all have injuries. I have injuries. You know, there's different things as well. And like the thing about Mark is, like, you know, his mind is just he doesn't want to give up, and he keeps active, and he keeps doing different things, and he knows he's got this like pain and different things as well, and he works through it and he finds a way. And I think that kind of like determination, and like a lot of you guys in this community that I speak to, you know, you keep going, you keep trying. And like most of you guys, like you know, you understand that that you have to apply yourself in life, and you understand the like you know, the journey of being a man. I know there's a few ladies on the channel as well. Sometimes I probably talk too much about kind of men's kind of minds and different things, because like, you know, I'm not one for this kind of like wrapping guys with cotton wool. I think you need to have a bit of trauma. I think it's good for you. Gotta suffer a bit. It helps. And I think as a guy, you can't ever feel sorry for yourself. You know, the journey of a man isn't to be compared to anything else as well. You have to just like keep going, be dogged, be persistent. There's no such thing as relaxing. Let's see, Jim says, Simon's father was a great man. He was. I lost my father a couple of years ago, and I totally understand about Simon's father. Yeah, man, it's like, it's so weird. You know, this connection between father and son, when they go, like, I never even think about my dad going and stuff, because you know, you're just going to get emotional, and as a guy, I just want to hide my emotions as best I can. But yeah, like but like, you know, if I go someday, or if my dad goes someday, I'm going to talk about him still. I'm going to keep him alive. I'm going to keep his legacy alive, talking about my dad, his stories and different things. And like I did interviews and I put them on YouTube. They'll be there forever. Like I've brought my dad on these live streams as well. And like 100 years from now, McCaffrey's will see them as well. And it's kind of weird. Like there's actually a girl who came to the shop there yesterday, and she's a McCaffrey, and she was like, seeing the connection between our families. And there's it's as you said there, Jim. It's a tough thing going through debt, and I think I'm all right with most kind of things. But like when your father go, like the thing is, when the father goes, it's like such a big thing for a family at any age, because like he was the leader of the family. It was, at the end of the day, if all the kids were annoying and arguing, the dad would just come in and say, "Cop the hell on," and stuff like that. That's why, like, these land disputes always happen when the father or the grandfather passes away, and the kids, then they all go for the land, and there's an argument over who's in charge of it and different things. And like, there's always arguments over land. But like when we have the dad, the granddad, the leader of the family, he just tells everyone, "Cop the hell on," and gives everyone a clip around the ear and stuff, and says, "Cop on." And and that's how it should be, like, and stuff as well. But yeah, well, I don't know if I'm always right as well. But no, I think that you know young people, like, there's a certain responsibility when you get to a certain age as well, that you can't be very dismissive of young people and think they're soft and they're weak and different things. They need guidance, they need leadership as well. I think, like, honestly, like, I take a lot of direction and leadership from my dad, who's still giving advice to me each day. And what I like about my dad, and maybe Jim, you might remember this, from your own dad as well, is that he'll call me out my bullshit all the time. When I'm like, if I make some kind of mistake or something like that, he's unforgiven. He'll let me know, and and rightly so. And then I learn from it as well. And I think you kind of have to have that relationship. Like me, like it was weird, because like for a while we had this like competitive relationship. Like my dad was like, my dad is competitive actually. He likes to win things as well. And there's nothing wrong with that as well. But like, once you kind of get around that kind of competitive father son thing, and realize that, the dad is like the rock in the family, and to hold everything together, to deal with different problems as well. And I think, like, if young guys kind of see that and learn from it as well, it's going to carry on for generations. But if you're one of these guys, you're just like, not give. I think you should always be giving your kids advice, even though they hate it, even though they tell you get lost. A certain percentage of people get into it, and then when it gets older, they kind of realize that your intentions were good, and different things as well. But yeah, look, that's why a lot of people buy my walking sticks as well. Like, they remember their dad or their granddad or have a stick, and they have that kind of sentimental connection that he was known for that stick as well. And like, say, when someone passes as well, like, the say if your granddad was holding a walking stick every day, and they kind of feel his kind of energy on the stick and different things, and it's a nice thing as well. Let's see. All the time, my father's nickname was the judge, because right or wrong, he would call it how it is. Yes, Jim, I knew you'd understand, man, when I said that story. My dad's the same. He calls me on my bullshit all the time, and like, there's no bullshit. Like, it's just, cop the hell on. Said in more colorful language as well. And like, my dad would have no problem eating ahead of me about the littlest things as well. And I think that's kind of like good, because like, the thing about as well about fathers and sons is, no matter what the dad says in temper to you, you don't take it personally. Like, my dad has said some tough things to me, and like, I know his intention isn't like the toughness. He's just trying to like teach me something to cop the hell on and don't do something like that again or something. Or like, usually it's like, when I'm being a bit too talkative online, or getting into disputes or different things as well online and stuff, he's like, why are you wasting your time and different things, and he kind of like focuses me. So I think it's very important as well. And that we all, if our dads are still around, or not even a dad, just an elder member of the family, could be a grandmother as well, could be anyone as well. They know things, they're smart, they've lived through tough times. I'm telling you right now that the knowledge that grandparents and guys over 60 and 70 have now is invaluable into the times that we're coming in. People haven't had it hard yet. you know, there's going to be tough times ahead. These things come in cycles as well. And the more of them they go through, you just get that knowledge as well. Like, look at what we've been through, man, the last 10 years. The financial crisis, you know, the flu that scared the world, you know, allegedly. And all of these different things going on in the world now, man. Like, you know, we get through it and we learn and we adapt. But yeah, like I actually do have an interest in trying to like give advice to younger guys. Like I'll give you an example. Like I met this guy in Portugal. He's 18 and stuff, and I was giving him advice and direction. And you know, like initially when I met him, he was like competitive. He was like, you know, wanted to compete with me on all these different things. But like when I started giving advice and different things as well, I could see some of it sinked in. He was being curious and different things. And yeah, I think all you guys on this channel, man, like, you know, you should you know, try to pass on that knowledge to a younger generation, whether it be skills you have. I think it's the advice. Living through experience is probably the best thing you can do as well. And I find that invaluable. Look, I'm waffling away. I've been on for an hour. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me every week. And all the guys that retrospectively watch me as well, about 1,000 guys who have reached it to the end of the video. Thank you very much. And, you know, hope us all is well. And in your lives, if you're dealing with injury or old age or different things as well, don't worry, we're all part of the same community. We all we all feel the pain. You know, we're all in together as well. And I think that's important about this community. And I try to create a good community here as well. And I'm getting focused now, and I'm keeping out of online drama and just focusing on my business, and it's working pretty well. Goodbye, my friend Jim. It's always a pleasure to see you. I don't know if you're coming to Ireland sometime. You should definitely get over this way as well. A lot of tourists are still around in October. Actually, I have to remember, I got a tour group coming tomorrow. What date's tomorrow? Saturday. I nearly forgot about that. Yeah, so I actually have a big tour group coming tomorrow to see me, and that should be another lucrative day as well, because I do have a retail store that people actually turn up to now and again. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I gotta go, and over the winter I'm coming to see you as well. Yeah, just say it in advance so that I'm around. Actually, I'm around most winters. The only time I'm away is I'm going to be cutting blackthorn. So like usually if I'm cutting blackthorn, I usually do it now on a Wednesday or a Saturday. That's kind of how I set up my schedule, where I can do it Wednesday, have Thursday, Friday to recover, and then Saturday I can do it again. Saturday, Sunday, do my orders. Monday, Tuesday, get on top of things. Wednesday, do the cutting. So I think I'll be doing like cutting like twice a week, where I'll try to do one big day of cutting where I'll spend like 8 hours a day doing it, and try to get like 100 to 200 pieces per cutting session. No worries, Jason. Thanks for joining the live stream. I got to go. All right, guys.